Hi, this is Ben Tomke, and for my final project, I put together a Google Classroom for my U.S. history class. The reason that I'm making this screencast is because I'm a little concerned about the availability of seeing Google Classroom. It's not an open website. In most cases, I have to actually invite the students or put a special code in for them. So I wanted to be able to at least give a little tour to see what it's about. And when you sign in, this would be the first screen. If you have multiple classes, you would see multiple classes here, but this is just my U.S. history class. And we go in here, and what I've set up on the home screen is basically the first, chapter, first couple weeks of school activities, lesson plans, however you want to decide what they are. A little intro here, a little YouTube video for the students on how to actually use Google Classroom that they could watch. First semester syllabus through Google Docs, which we'll talk about. Very easy to link all of your Google Docs into this. And that would be the first day, is just going through that stuff. Opening Day ID, which is a PowerPoint of different figures and places in the United States and U.S. history, just to see kind of what we know and what we don't know. A little game there for the start. Then we start getting into the actual meat and potatoes of the class. This chapter 3 outline here is the Michigan High School Content Standards for the Industrial Revolution. So that's something that we would go over together in the classroom so that the students would understand the expectations of what they're supposed to learn. And then this is just a link to the overall high school content standards for Michigan. It's real easy. To see any of this stuff, the students just click on it and it opens up in a new window. Makes navigation really easy, and here comes the development of industrial America, the outline here, and the different standards and things that we will be exploring. It does provide each student their own copy of these assignments, of these documents, so that they are not typing on or changing masters. And here is kind of what they would work through, or what we would work through in class. These are my notes or guided readings here as we work through the textbook. This is about the only time I use the text. This just kind of get the framework of what we need to be learning. A little PowerPoint connected to the standards, I should say a little slideshow, Google slideshow connected to the standards. And we would go through these. That's the bulk of the notes, if you will, or whatever they're going to do for class, things that their tests are made up from. And again, it says you can change this, but each student will get a copy of these, so that they are typing on their own, they're modifying their own, they're not taking my master copies and changing them. You can list polls and questions for the students to answer, kind of an exit poll type thing if you wanted to, so I put an example of that up here. Push and pull factors of immigration, robber barons, captains of industry. If there's any social studies teachers out there, I'm sure you'll understand that. And then a way to build in some videos here. I like to use the History Channel, America's Story of Us. When we go through these different sections, it plays right along with it. Just reiterates some of the points and expands on some of the points for the kids to see. And there's a little questionnaire here that they would, again, fill out as they're watching that and turn back into me to show that they did it. So that would be pretty much the first, maybe 2 weeks of school, first real chapter of the Industrial Revolution material that we would go through. To add students, I did actually add one of my students right now, just to make sure that it worked and so that I could see the website from his end. But again, this would be for really the start of the 2016 school year, U.S. History 1. I'm not currently teaching that since we're almost at the end of the year. I'm on all U.S. 2 right now. And when you do invite students, they type in this code and that connects them to the classroom. Real easy process, simple code. This third and final page is kind of like a file cabinet here for Google Classroom, so you can start adding all the things that you have, and they're right here for you to access. I started doing this and I started to question why I was doing it, to be honest, because it's so synced up with Google Drive that all of these materials that I have made or have used that I've now put together into separate chapter folders and topic folders and so forth. It's one click, 2 clicks, and these are added into Google Classroom. So it's really like Google Drive is already a part of Google Classroom already. And you can see, I have the bulk of the class here, so we have, again, the note questions like you saw, some vocab work here, but a web quest on the Korean War, a primer on North Korea, and I showed another video along with that for the kids to kind of get an idea of what's going on in North Korea, and along with all the tests. And when I test, I could also put those into Google Classroom, or my district actually offers a testing program through our gradebook, which is called Skyward. And I type those into Skyward, the kids take the tests on the computers, and it actually automatically grades them for me, besides things like essays, and populates the gradebook itself, which is pretty nice. So, all in all, I'm happy with this process. I think it's going to really streamline what we're trying to do in the classroom. It will make sure that these materials are available to the students 24 hours a day. If they miss class, if they forgot something, there's really no excuses for that anymore. I think it's going to streamline my thought process and keep me a lot more organized with what I'm doing in the classroom, and hopefully keep me on a better schedule, as I'm sure all of you out there at the end of the year right now are thinking. And I'm really, really excited that I've had the opportunity to sit down and put all this together and use some of the things like this screencast that I've learned along the way in this master's program and put it to good use in my classroom. So, thank you very much. Good luck finishing up the school year.